What? She really tried to destroy his life just because she didn't want to be looked at as a cheater? No accountability. No accountability.
Cheating ex-girlfriend caught at dinner with my best friend. It's crazy how my ex tried lying, saying she was just eating with him as a friend. My ex-buddy couldn't lie to me. He confessed everything that I already knew. I don't know what's the most messed up part of the story. My girlfriend cheating on me, my best friend betraying me, or her lying accusing him of assault. Let me get into my story. True story epic. This entire situation was a disaster. I couldn't believe this happened to me, so I was with my ex-girlfriend for 4 years. We were talking about engagement and everything. We had actually moved in with each other early. We just weren't engaged. But in October of this year, not too long ago, my ex-best friend, even though I helped him, he's still my ex-best friend for what he did. He just got off of a case that would have landed him in jail for years, possibly. I believe he was facing 9 to 20 years in prison, all because of my ex-girlfriend lying on him because she didn't want to look like a cheater, let alone cheating on me with my best friend. Let me back up and get to the story though. So ironically, the way I met my ex-girlfriend in 2020, she was crying in the back of the store, Family Dollar to be exact. I was there buying some goods because I had to go to this particular store because other stores were closed or items were missing everywhere. You guys all remember the pandemic. Anyway, she was crying in the back of the store. She was there shopping, and I said, "Ma'am, are you okay? Can I help you?" She put her hand on me and says, "Please take me to the police or call the police." I said, "So, what's wrong? Are you okay?" She told me she had just been assaulted. I was floored. I really didn't know what to do. I pulled my phone out and I dialed 911. The police took forever. I sat there with her, but I actually had to get back to work. I almost was going to call off. I was working from home and I took a small break, but she told me it was okay and I could leave. She stopped crying before the police even came. I wasn't trying to ask any details, but what I did do was give her my number and I said, "If you need anything, if you need to talk, I'm here." Now, I did not have the mindset of getting with her. Jasmine is a physically beautiful woman. I'll give her that, but I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, well, if she really needs something, I'm here for her. Shouldn't no one be taken advantage of by anybody, male or female? Jasmine, my ex-girlfriend, told me it was okay to leave the store and she will be in touch with me. She's going to need someone to talk to. I told her I was here whenever. I went back to work and it was on my mind so much I could hardly work, but I got through the rest of my shift and was done. I decided to do some housework and try to get my mind off of it. I honestly didn't expect Jasmine to ever hit me up, but she did. She called me late that night, 11:28 p.m. I will never forget it. How do I remember this exact time? Because when she called and I answered, the first thing she said was, "Well, I didn't realize I called you on my birthday." I thought in my head, wow, today is her birthday. I said, "Well, happy birthday." I wanted to say what a day, but that would have been very rude, of course, right? But she says, "Yeah, my birthday is 11:28. I called you at 11:28." I didn't even realize. I said, "Oh, okay, November 28th? Okay, cool. That's when we got into zodiac signs." She was telling me how she was a Sagittarius and giving me all the traits about a Sagittarius. And then I told her my birthday, and my zodiac was a Virgo. And she was telling me how Virgos are and giving me the pros and cons and all types of stuff. I've known a little bit about zodiac, but I can't just talk about it off top of my head like she does. She really likes that stuff. I don't know why, but she does. Anyway, we stayed on the phone till about 1 a.m. that night. As you could imagine, it was very hard for me to bring up the fact that she might have been assaulted earlier, and I was very curious about it, but she would never speak about it, so I didn't want to say anything. But towards the end of the call, and we were hanging up, I said, "Wait, wait." She says, yes. I said, are you okay? Did the police come? What? What happened to the guy that assaulted you? She told me everything was fine. The police showed up, but they didn't take her in, and everything is fine now. I know what you all are thinking. How did you let this fly? Why did you deal with this? Assault is a very, very big accusation to put on someone, but I'm here to tell you. I let her get away with it. I did. I don't know why I said, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you're okay. Do you need anything? She says, no, she's fine. And by the way, before I even got to that question, we had already scheduled hanging out together. She lived 30 minutes away from me. She was in my area looking for products, and she told me eventually that she was visiting her ex-boyfriend at the time we met. I guess the one that assaulted her, I don't know. I can't believe I never pressed that issue. I knew she was keeping something from me, but I didn't want to press too much for some reason. I just let her get away with. I'm so stupid. But anyway, let me continue with the story. We started hanging out every weekend, sometimes throughout the week as well. Now, guys, she didn't come off as crazy at all to me. I enjoyed her company. She's funny. Actually, Jasmine is hilarious. One of the funniest people I've ever met. And she looks good. By week 3, she was coming over to my house and we were having dinner and we were sleeping together. Probably like 4 times a week we were sleeping together. By the way, usually she would come to my place. I rarely went over to her place, which is red flag. By the way, for those who date, if she doesn't want you to come to her place, red flag. But anyway, after about a month and a half, maybe close to 2 months, she's asking me about a relationship, saying that she's really a relationship type person and she doesn't like to just sleep around. I told her, well, just to be open with her. She's the only person I'm sleeping with and I'm not like that either. I don't just sleep around with anybody. I'm a relationship person as well, even though it has been a while for me. Long story short, we started our relationship in 2020. Things were great. We didn't stop dating. She'd come over and she'd cook often. She'd bring food. She started to clean my house, do my laundry, all types of stuff. Little did I know she was really moving herself in. So she started rearranging and decorating my place, bringing things from her place or things that she saw at thrift stores and hanging them up on my wall and changing my bed sheets and everything. Before 2020 was over, she had moved into my place. Of course, she asked, and I agreed. I thought it was a good idea. I was working from home. She worked from home, and it kind of all worked out. So, I thought by the time she had already met my best friend, Summers. Bartholomew is his first name, but everybody just called him by his last name, Summers. Initially, I thought it was kind of cool that my best friend and my now new girlfriend hit it off so cool. They didn't hang out or anything, but when we were together, they got along great. I thought it was just all perfect. We just needed to find my boy a girlfriend, but he wasn't thinking like that. I guess he wanted who I had, and she wanted my best friend. No, I don't know if they started dating or hooking up from the very beginning in 2020. Well, according to him, no, but I do know that this year I caught him red-handed. Mid-August to be exact. August 19th, I had to take a trip. It was only for a day, but it was about 4 hours away. I was going to drive there, spend time at the event for 2 hours, and drive back home. That morning was weird. So my ex-girlfriend, Jasmine, kept telling me that she wouldn't be available because she had so much to do. But she couldn't tell me exactly what she needed to do, which was weird. It came sporadically until I left, so I didn't know about any of this stuff. She had to do days leading up to when I had to leave. But all of a sudden, she needed to help her mother. Her sister needed a babysitter for a couple hours. Long story short, she was telling me not to call her and not for me to call. I know why, because she was sleeping with my best friend that entire day. They were going out shopping and all types of stuff. My best friend told me everything. So anyway, that day, I went off to where I had to head to, and I enjoyed the event. Mind you also, she was supposed to come with me, but she ended up canceling. last minute. I wonder why. Anyway, I'm there at the event and not talking to her via text like usual if one of us is away. I knew she said she was going to be busy, and I didn't want to be that boyfriend to be blowing up her phone, even though I had a gut feeling. Now, this is the only time I've had this feeling. I've never thought that she would be cheating on me, let alone with my best friend. But at the event, I couldn't wait to leave. I actually tried to leave early, but it just couldn't happen. After I gave my 10-minute presentation, I had to sit and listen to others. There was just no escaping, so I stayed the whole event. Ended up staying for the food, total of 2 hours. I headed back home. When I got home, my girlfriend wasn't there. My suspicions and my gut feelings just grew more and more. Something was up, not even thinking that she's with my best friend. I decided to give him a call just to see what he was up to, just out of boredom. You know, he didn't answer. Now, typically, if I hit him up, or my ex-girlfriend for that matter, they'll text me immediately, saying, hey, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, but I didn't get anything from him. I've called my ex-girlfriend, she didn't answer, and I didn't get a text from her either. It was just odd, and right there, for the first time in all these years, it crossed my mind. What if? Nah, there's no way he would do that to me. Sitting there at home just wondering where the heck she is. So I did what anybody else would do. I went through her laptop. I knew how to get in there. I've used it before. I didn't even know what I was looking for. People have dating apps on their phones, so if she had a dating app, I wouldn't see it here. I just typed in Facebook on the search bar and went straight to her Facebook guys. I started shaking. I was nervous. I decided to click on messages, and right there, I see conversations between her and my best friend. The last they talked on there was 2 weeks ago, so I started looking through. Sure enough, they were sleeping together. It was very obvious. Pictures sent between each other, and even discussed sexual relations they had with each other, and this broke my heart into pieces. I couldn't believe it. Now I didn't see the first time, but reading through the messages again, the latest one, they talked about how they were going to meet when I left for my event on August 19th, and she made him promise to take her to a restaurant called Gaslight. Later that night, after he wore her out, I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I thought, well, maybe they're at Gaslight Brewhouse right now. Let me go check it out. I drive straight there. There's only one in our town. I get there, and I tried looking for the car in the parking lot, but I didn't see it. But I decided, well, I'll just walk in. I get to the hostess, and I tell her just one, and I'd like a booth. She goes to check on some booths, and right there, I see my best friend. We hooked eyes. My girlfriend is just sitting there on her phone. I walk up to the table. I say, how's it going, guys? What are you doing? My girlfriend looks at me, big eyes. What are you doing here? How did you know we were here? I mean, do you want to join us? We haven't eaten yet. I said, I know what's going on. You've been cheating on me with my best friend. I looked at my best friend and said, dude, how dare you? You're my brother. My girlfriend starts laughing, saying, what, you think we're sleeping together? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Did you drink while you were out there? Sit down, stop being silly. I look at my best friend and he stutters, I'm sorry, my girlfriend is sitting here trying to play it off. She's not cheating on me. They're just grabbing a bite to eat. Like they didn't just have sex that day, several times. I looked at Jasmine and I told her, I know you've been sleeping with my best friend. I told Jasmine that to her face, and she sat there and lied and laughed in my face, calling me crazy, looking at my best friend, waiting for him to back her up. I finally turned back to him, and he stood up and apologized to me. My best friend tried to hug me. I pushed him off of me. Dude, you've been sleeping with Jasmine. Are you kidding me? He apologized and said, man, I'm sorry, dude. It started almost a year ago. We didn't sleep together, but we were very flirty, and we had kissed once, and we felt guilty about it. Jasmine is sitting there saying, shut up. What are you talking about? You're making things up, my best friend continued. Jasmine sat there crying. My best friend continued telling me when they first had sex and how it was often, and it just became normal. At first, he felt bad, but after a while, it just felt right because he had actually fallen in love with Jasmine. I told him, dude, I'm in a relationship with her. How do you fall in love with a woman that's in a relationship? He's just telling me everything. It's like he just couldn't stop. All the days they went on and everything, and I had to stop it. I told Jasmine we were done. It's over with. I'm getting her stuff out of my house and it's over. She is crying right there in the middle of the restaurant. I didn't do it. He made me. My girlfriend turned into a victim right then and there. Summers, why would you do that to me? I told you I was in love with my boyfriend, and you made me do these things. You blackmailed me. I told you no, no means no, and you did it anyway. I was sitting there thinking, what the heck is she talking about? She ran out. We couldn't find her outside. I told my friend, now ex-best friend. He's dead to me. Don't ever speak to me again, and I left. It was about 2 weeks later, my ex-friend gave me a call. Jasmine was already moved out of my place. I got rid of her stuff quick, in fact, that very night. She came to pick it up, or someone did. I don't know, it was gone the next morning. But 2 weeks later, my ex-best friend calls me, telling me he just got out of jail. His parents bailed him out, and Jasmine is accusing him of assault. I said, what? I don't know what to say, man. He's telling me he needs me. He needs my help. I don't know what I need to do. He tells me that I need to get a hold of her laptop or her phone or something. I told him I was not doing all of that. I've given her all of her stuff. I wasn't going to go steal her things. I don't know how to help you. Man, I'm sorry. Good luck. And I ended the phone call. I never blocked any of them. But Jasmine reached out to me and said that she needed my help. She wanted me to back up her story. I'm so glad I kept ignoring the phone calls because I wouldn't have record of this. But when I kept ignoring her phone calls, she eventually texted me and she wanted me to side with her and tell the police that my best friend took advantage of her and I knew all about it, asking if she wanted me to go over the story with her and everything. It's all in text message, so here I am. I have opportunity to bury my best friend who betrayed me, or I can try to get Jasmine in trouble for lying, or walk away and ignore both of them and just let things happen the way they happen. It did not sit right in my soul to allow my best friend to go under like that. I wasn't going to do that. Not that I was trying to save him and be best friends again, but I wasn't going to let her get away with that. At first it did cross my mind. Did he take advantage of her? But when she wanted me to back her story, basically admitting to me that she was lying, that was proof right there. And I took that proof to my best friend and his lawyer and parents. I told him what Jasmine was trying to do, and I wasn't going to allow it to happen. It still took a while, but charges got dropped. Jasmine was charged with perverting the course of justice and for filing a false police report and wasting the officer's time. Also, Summers is filing a civil lawsuit for defamation. But I think Jasmine is looking at only potential repercussions like fines, probation, not jail time. They're both out of my life. Jasmine is a basket case. She really tried to destroy my ex-best friend's life.
What? She really tried to destroy his life just because she didn't want to be looked at as a cheater? No accountability. No accountability. That's ridiculous, man. Look, I'm glad you stepped in and helped your ex-best friend. But I bet it feels weird even calling him an ex-best friend. How is he even my friend in the first place? Has he done this before? You know? In this basket case of a woman, when you met her, dude, red flags everywhere. Are you serious? She's accusing somebody, saying she was assaulted, Didn't you ask her about it? She's like, oh, no, it's fine. Police didn't take me in, or no one was arrested. It's all good. What do you mean it's all good? You just told me you were assaulted. What's going? Yeah, you should have left her alone. You should have left her at Family Dollar, sir. Oh my gosh. You tried to do that to your friend. What if you ticked her off? What if you would have ticked her off within those 4 years and she accused you? You guys got to be careful, man. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'll catch you guys at the next one.